If you're looking for ways to feel in control of your life, feel less stressed, have less physical pain, let me tell you about a few things that have totally transformed my life and lots of my students' lives. My name is Itai, I'm a yoga teacher, and today I'm breaking down 16 tiny little mindset tweaks that are going to make your life 100 times better using yoga philosophy. The last tip is my favorite, and it's one I'm sure you have never heard of, so stick around for that. But let's get into it. The first thing, y'all, is we gotta start practicing non-attachment to outcomes. A lot of the time we do things just for the fruits of our labor and we forget to enjoy the work itself. There's this quote by a famous yogi named Swami Vivekananda. He says that trying to do work is like trying to straighten a pig's curvy tail. You can straighten it out for a sec, but as soon as your hand comes off it, it's gonna boing, bounce back and be curly again. So that means we don't do the work of straightening the tail just so that we can look at the tail and see it straight for the rest of the time. It means we do it for the sake of the work itself. We get to know the pig, get to know how the tail works, and through the appreciation of the process, we get detached from the outcome itself. And for this reason, I feel like, this is my hot take of the day, risk is always a win-win, right? If you get the outcome you desired, sure, we view it as success, but if you don't get the outcome you desired, you get wisdom and you get to detach from these outcomes. Usually we suffer so much more in our head than we do in reality because we're thinking that if things don't go our way, the world is gonna end. So my response to that is watch it not go your way and watch yourself be fine. And then you will be so much more flexible, so much more fun to be around because you won't be attached to the outcomes of this life. Number two is that we gotta start choosing contentment now, not later. We tend to always think, and this is related to the last point, that, oh, if I get this one thing, then I'm gonna be exactly where I need to be. I'm gonna be happy then. Or if this one thing goes my way, then I can relax. Happiness is nowhere to be found except for in the present moment. You will never find it in the future, you will never find it in the past. When your mind is off in space thinking about how the future could be, then you're forgetting to be grateful for the present moment. Right now, I want you to list in the comments 3 things that you're grateful for. 3 things that right now bring you contentment. For me, it's the birds chirping above my head, it's the way the grass feels under my feet, and it's the fact that I had a delicious breakfast this morning that's still sitting nice in my belly. Once you practice gratitude in this way, you won't be as likely to delay gratification. You won't be as likely to procrastinate contentment, saving it for a time where you believe in your head you will be happier than you are now. You will never be happier than you are now because you only have now. So take a deep breath right now and realize that you are exactly where you need to be. There's nowhere to run to. There's nothing that could change your life so much that it would give you happiness that you're lacking right now. If you're not practicing happiness before you get the things you want, then you are not going to actually enjoy those things at all. Number 3 is that we got to start treating our life like a movie plot and seeing problems as growth opportunities. So when something doesn't go your way, instead of throwing a tantrum, you got to imagine yourself like you're watching your life unfold on a movie screen. Think about what this obstacle is going to do in terms of your own character development. What lessons are you learning? How are you going to be stronger because of this? This reframing is going to stop this victim mentality that makes a lot of us feel like life is out of our control. When you realize that every obstacle, every struggle has its purpose and has its lesson, then you become the creator of your life and your own protagonist, your own main character. And once you master that mindset, nothing can actually bother you. If you find something irritating, frustrating, or painful, you will see that thing as not only negative, but something you can actually use to grow, something that will improve your life, even a blessing. What a superpower it is to reframe an obstacle or a roadblock as a blessing. So go ahead in the comments right now, name one obstacle that you want to reframe as a blessing. One thing that might have happened to you in the recent past that tripped you up in the moment, but now you can see through the 2020 hindsight what favors it really did you, what opportunities it really unlocked for you, what epiphanies came from it. Number 4 is it's time to start using breathwork to optimize transitions. When I say transitions, I'm talking about switching from one activity to the next, switching from one gear to the next, and changing the direction of your thoughts, changing the application of your brain and body. Because when we're switching from one activity to the next, when we're getting out of the shower and getting ready to pick out an outfit, when we pull up to our driveway in our car and go to check the mailbox, this is when we get thrown off course. This is when we go to check our phone. This is when intrusive thoughts enter and derail our focus. Focus is not just for deep work periods or studying. Focus is very necessary for anything you want to do in this life. If you want to go to bed by 10, but you spend an hour looking up at the ceiling overthinking, you haven't used very much focus. So what I propose is in these moments of transition, instead of going for your phone, or instead of just continuing to move at a rapid pace, take a moment of stillness and utilize 4-7-8 breath. This is a really old yogic breathwork pattern where you inhale for 4 counts, hold your breath for 7 counts, and exhale for 8 counts. You can even just do 1 round. I think 5 rounds is perfect for this purpose. But even just 1 round is going to remind you of where you're going next and give you more purpose when you move into your next activity. This transition is not going to be a fork in the road anymore. It's just going to be a checkpoint. It'll be an opportunity to reorient. And the breath itself feels so good. Let's try it together once. Take an exhale to prepare. Now inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Allow your breath to return to its natural pace. Feels good, right? It makes me feel embodied. It makes me feel like I know exactly where I need to be. And it makes me grateful to be alive. So do that during transitions, and you will feel your productivity, your focus, and your purpose in this life improve a lot. This one, all right, so number 5 is so subtle but so powerful, and that is to start and end your day with a smile. When you wake up, when you're still in bed, before you reach for your phone, before you pull off your sheet, give yourself a smile and take a deep breath. Hold that smile for even a whole minute. Start your day from a place of joy. Did you know that when you smile, even if it's fake, you are tricking your body into secreting oxytocin, the hormone of love. So starting your day with a smile is like taking a supplement just at the top of your day. And similarly, we want to end our days with a smile as well. When you get into bed, before rolling over onto your side and conking out, you give yourself a little smile and breathe deeply into that smile. You will be setting yourself up for successful dreams, deep rest, and an easeful wake up. You will find that you have less anxious thoughts when you wake up. You will feel more ready and inspired to start your day. It's so simple, but it's so powerful. Now, I encourage you to smile right now. Just give yourself a little smile and see how it feels in your body. And I encourage you to drop a comment that is going to make everyone who reads it smile. Scroll through the comments and see how big you can get your smile. And try to write something sweet that's going to uplift all who read it. Number 6 is we got to start bringing truth and non-violence into our conversations. When you're speaking to someone, before words come out of your mouth, you got to ask yourself, is it true and is it kind? This is going to guarantee that you act as a light worker in this world, uplifting the people around you. If you say something that's false or violent, even if it's by accident, that energy is contagious, and you might put it on someone who didn't have it at the beginning of the day. So we have a big responsibility when we use our words. Words cast spells that come true. So I encourage you to choose your words carefully and use your words as an opportunity to bring light into the world. So complaining, as much as we hate to admit it, is very violent. It doesn't add any light to the world. And even a white lie just adds confusion to the world. Now, of course, I'm not trying to make any absolute statements. It's case by case, but you will find that in most cases, these ancient yoga philosophy techniques definitely apply. Number 7 is that we got to start mentally rehearsing success. Before you gotta walk into a meeting, before you propose to your partner, before you walk down the street, take 1 minute to close your eyes and breathe and visualize doing that successfully in as much detail as you can. Visualize what your body language will be like, what outfit you'll be wearing, what the environment around you will look like. See it so clearly it's like you're there. This is training your brain to act in a way that makes that fantasy come true. And so success will be far more likely, even inevitable. Usually we're in such a rush that we don't want to take the time to spend this minute visualizing and guaranteeing our success. But once you try it, you will see just how beneficial it is. I'm staying in India in a hostel right now, and this is something that I do just before I wake up and greet everyone in the morning. I imagine myself spreading love and asking them how they slept and seeing what actions, what details will make it the most beneficial for myself and for them. And then the event itself always goes swimmingly. So drop a comment below. What activity in your own life can you apply this to? How can you visualize success before you act? Number 8 is to approach all these daily tasks with a beginner's mind. It's time for us to release the need to be an expert at everything. Being a novice seems like it'll be embarrassing, but it's actually more fun. It's discovery. It's exciting. It's not boring or repetitive, and it unlocks your inner child. Things like washing the dishes or driving to work don't have to be so mundane. They don't have to be serious. They can be silly. As long as you're staying responsible, why be so solemn all the time? Think about how you would do these things as if you're doing them for the first time, with extra awareness, extra playfulness, and extra love. If you're on a date trying to impress someone with your signature dish, cook it as though it's your first time. If you're getting up for your morning jog and you're dreading it, try to run as though you're discovering the ability to use your legs for the first time. And you will see the beauty of life. You will see how hard it is to actually get bored. Number 9, let's talk about how to create distance between your thoughts and you, especially negative thoughts, because usually we think that we are our thoughts, but this is really not true. A technique I love doing with my students, this guided meditation, is imagine that you're looking at your thoughts on a movie screen. This way you will realize you're just the observer of your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. So when negative self-talk comes into your brain and you say things like, I'm not good enough, I hate the way I look, you can realize that is just a notification you can dismiss. That is not really you. You can turn your head away from the screen and look somewhere else. You can even flip the channel and go to a different part of your mind, a more self-loving part of your mind. If you want to do the movie theater meditation, I have that up as well, so go check it out. It's a way to realize the essence of who you are, which is a unified consciousness, not these individual thoughts that are so hard to pin down and so hard to get right. So next time your thoughts start spiraling, you get anxious, you get overstimulated, simply remind yourself, I am not my thoughts. I am not my body, I am not even my mind. And you'll realize that you have more freedom and safety from those things. You're not helplessly tethered to this mind. And it will make your mind a way more friendly place because you'll have the perspective to see that it's actually in your control. You can shape it and create it however you want. So if you want to do the movie theater meditation and be the first to hear about all my other guided meditations, I encourage you to hit the link below and join my free newsletter. If you give me your best email, then you'll be the first to hear about all my guided meditations, all my yoga tips, and I'll even send you some exclusive stuff like travel journals and photo diaries of my travels across Asia. We're currently at 12,000 subscribers, and you can make it 12,001. I think you will really love the yoga resources and the travel stories that are going on over there. Number 10 is a big one, y'all, especially for those of us who have a bit of a sedentary lifestyle, if we're always sitting at a desk, especially if we have an office job, or even if you drive a lot. And that is to take 2-minute stretch breaks or 2-minute movement breaks. Let's use the example of a desk worker. If you are working from 9 to 5, the best thing you can do is to work for 20 minutes and then take 2 minutes to stand up, stretch your body, move your eyes to something far away from you. That's going to prevent you from needing glasses in the future. It's going to prevent you from needing a hip surgery in the future. Move your body, keep it warm, keep it fluid to prevent long-term effects later. But it's not just for long-term effects. You're going to feel way better in the moment too. You're going to focus more when you give your brain this break. Because when we are just constantly on the same gear, working for so long, we get burnt out. But when you implement this rule of 20 minutes, then 2 minutes, then 20 minutes, then 2 minutes, you will find that when the alarm goes off and it's time for your 2-minute break, you will be in the middle of some workflow state. And the interruption is actually not a bad thing because you'll be itching to go back. And the interruption is not long enough that you'll lose your place. You'll actually get some distance to think about it and better approach your next step. So it's a really good hack to keep your motivation high because you'll need to turn away from it right in the moment of focus and clarity, and that will keep you coming back. It'll eventually make you addicted to the feeling of focus, which is a skill that can improve every aspect of your life. Number 11 is to turn mundane tasks into exciting mindfulness exercises. So let's say you're folding your laundry or doing the dishes or cleaning up after your kids. Your instinct might be to let your thoughts wander while you're doing that. Let's try something else. Let's try to bring all our awareness to it. Let's use a laundry example. What if instead of just folding the clothes quickly and getting it over with, you took your time, you breathed into it, you felt the texture of the cotton, you used both hands instead of just one, you smelled the clothes, felt how warm they were fresh out the dryer on your face, and learned to appreciate the little things in life. It's such a cliche, but the reason these phrases are cliche is because they're really true. If you can appreciate the little things in life, then you will no longer need to escape mundane life by doing all these crazy high adrenaline activities, whether it's taking substances or online shopping or scrolling on your phone. By appreciating the design of a sofa, the way water falls off a plate as you scrub it with dish soap, you'll find that you won't need to do all these high dopamine activities when you can find joy in all these little things. And it might seem impossible at first, but if you stick with it, in a week, you will be so much more open to receiving blessings from the universe because you will understand how everything is already a blessing. You will definitely be complaining less and you will do things with more focus. You might find that you stop spilling drinks, you stop stubbing your toe, because that's what mindfulness does. Number 12 is to take a quick moment of stillness before responding to something that emotionally triggers you. So I think most of the miscommunications in this life can be avoided if we don't act from a high emotional place. Now, don't get me wrong, emotions are so important, and part of the joy of life is feeling emotions, even the difficult ones. Sadness is a gift, anger is a gift, grief is a gift, but with great power comes great responsibility. If somebody says something that upsets you, it's best not to reflect that energy right back onto them. What we must do if emotions are coursing through us is go sit in silence, be with ourselves, take a moment of stillness, and process the emotions. Cradle the emotion like a baby in your arms. Ask it what it needs, how you can serve it. After a few minutes, you'll feel your heart rate go back down. You'll feel your thoughts start to level out again. And at that point, you can go back and resume the communication. Don't feel selfish or silly for taking time to regulate yourself before escalating a situation that you can avoid. That's the power of feeling emotions fully before acting out of them. Emotions belong inside of your body, so take some time with them to show them around the place. Feel it in your heart, feel it in your toes, feel it in the top of your head. Then when words come out your mouth, you will know with confidence that you are being a light worker, that you're not doing anything that's going to negatively impact the people around you. I have lots of guided meditations about how to sit with each one of these feelings, so be sure to check that out on my page. My students say that they come back to these guided meditations very frequently, so I think you'll enjoy it. Number 13 is one of my favorites. It's time to replace goals with values. A goal can be a very useful thing, but at the same time, it's a projection of where we will be at a later date. Goals have nothing to do with the present moment, except for values. Values are how we get towards our goals. You can break down a goal in terms of what steps you want to take, but you can also break it down in terms of what values you have. For example, if you want to climb Mount Everest, the steps you take could be walk for 30 minutes every day, visit a high elevation place to prepare. But the values would be get accustomed to doing movement that makes me feel joyous, appreciate every step when I practice walking meditation, marvel at the beauty of nature. These are things that are not just items on a checklist. They are frequencies that you can always return to. And so after you reach your goal, which will be much sooner if you concentrate on your values, The values will stay. The values are for life. The goals are fleeting, even temporary, and they feel good in the moment, but then they pass and you forget. The values will be with you every day from now till the day you die. And that is so powerful because that will once again remind you not to look for joy in the future, to look for joy in the present. Leave a comment below right now and let me know what are some of your values. It could be treating others with kindness. It could be treating animals with care. It could be making beautiful art. List some values, and by writing them, you'll find that through the rest of your day, you'll be acting on them way more intentionally. Number 14 is making equanimous decisions. Here's the thing, y'all. Usually our decisions are either driven by comfort or discipline, meaning I want to be this way or I should be this way. Why is the want and the should always in conflict? This is something to examine, and one way to examine it is to make choices that strike the balance between discipline and comfort. We shouldn't push ourselves too much to the point of burnout, but we shouldn't sedate ourselves to the point of stagnancy either. There's a balance. Buddha calls it the middle path. Balancing comfort with discomfort or easefulness with discipline is going to make progress happen a lot faster than through extreme decisions. As we've discussed, it will lead to burnout. It will make you so caught up in the weeds and the specifics of what you're doing that you forget to zoom out and see the big picture. You might even forget to appreciate the present moment and just think about where it's getting you. So one way to avoid this lack of direction is to make decisions that balance comfort and discipline, equanimous decisions. Number 15 is to water the plants that you want to see grow. What do I mean by that? Imagine your thoughts as a forest. Each thought is a tree. The more one thought repeats in your head, the taller and more powerful that tree will grow, sucking up all the water that the other trees could be using and dominating the forest. So put your thoughts on the trees you want to see grow. If you're continuously watering the tree of thinking you don't look beautiful, of thinking you're not enough, then your forest is going to be a dark and scary place. But if every time that thought comes up, you can change directions and plant another tree, a tree that tells you you're beautiful, a tree that tells you you are perfect, then you're gonna be living in the Garden of Eden. It's easier said than done. It takes a lot of work. Every time you take a thought and transmute it, it's like a bicep curl for your brain. And it's as important as any kind of physical exercise. I trust that you will find it very helpful. Finally, we have 16. 16 is my favorite one. It's taking 15 and making it into a little more of a practical application. Every time you catch yourself in a negative thought thinking, why did she do that? Or I hate how this weather is right now. Or this food is gross. You can reframe all those thoughts as something constructive rather than complaint. So instead of why would she do that, say, I can understand why she behaves this way. Even if I wouldn't act this way, I can understand why she is acting this way. If you're complaining about the weather, you could say, this is teaching me a lot about the kind of climate I'm most comfortable in. And instead of saying this food sucks, you can say, I will remember to avoid this dish in the future. Again, you're no longer the victim of your life when you do this. You are the creator of your life. And that's the bottom line here. The more you control your thoughts, the more you control your life. And we totally can control our thoughts. All it takes is work. You go to the gym and stretch your muscles. When you meditate, it's like going to the gym for your brain. You watch your thoughts, you become familiar with them. You start seeing the same patterns over and over again. And once you clock these cycles, you're able to correct them and shape them how you want, molding them into whatever makes you happiest. So leave a comment below. What is one reframe you can do right now? Think of the last complaint you had and reframe it as something constructive. I'll go first. My last negative thought was, I really don't like how the pillow in this hostel is so small. And I can reframe it as, this is teaching me that I need a very tall, firm pillow if I want to sleep in fetal position. Now I've increased my self-knowledge and I've detoxed the pollution of negative thought. Now your turn. Write it in the comments. I hope you found these 16 mindset tweaks very helpful, and I promise they will make your life 100 times better if you implement them. I love you dearly. Don't forget to subscribe, send this to your homies, and shout from the rooftops that yoga will change everyone's life. And that's why we're here, to spread the knowledge that yoga is going to incite an inner revolution that's going to make the world a brighter place. I love you so much, and I can't wait to see you next time. I'll be back very soon. In the meantime, please remember you're exactly where you need to be, and you're already perfect. Peace and love.